morning. Hiya. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Pages Live. This is our weekly practice to develop a little bit of trust, a little bit of care for this practice of ours that is so vital and so helpful in lots of ways. It helps us give some time to the critic and the judge. And once we give a little bit of time to those things, they settle down a bit, if that makes sense. The judge is just so busy giving out. And, I think sometimes it just needs us to listen to it and go, it's okay. I hear you. I hear you. And that's a very valid point. That's a really valid point because nobody ever really gives it time and love. So we're using our pages for things like that. What are you going to use your pages for this morning? Tell me what is on your mind this morning. Morning pages are not just morning, and they're not just pages, they're actually just words. I would often do just 5 minutes getting especially anger out onto paper. If something occurs to me and it's very strong, if something very, very strong occurs to me, it's safer on the page. And once it's on the page, I can see it and understand it and maybe do something about it. Anger is a great indicator that something needs to change, that something is wrong, something is missing. It's time to move, things like that. So, which brings me nicely on to what I wanted to speak about this morning, the notion of considering new paths, considering new enterprises, ventures. A lot of the time, the anger that comes out of us is simply boredom. I'm tired with the status quo. My inner child, my inner creative child is just, she's so bored with the rigmarole of everyday life, the in, the out, the bill paying, the problems, the cleaning, the interpersonal stuff. And it gets boring. It gets really, really tiresome, laborious. And sometimes we need to consider a different path. Okay. So to that end, Julia Cameron, who writes The Artist's Way and whose program I facilitate and teach, she also has other books out, like The Listening Path. And The Listening Path is just a 6-week Artist's Way program. So I'm considering doing that. It's called The Creative Art of Attention, just learning to develop your awareness, basically, And it's a wonderful program to work on that skill. And communication experts are always telling us that listening is a skill and that we have to practice it and work at it. And sometimes we'll fail at it, often we'll fail at it and get back on the horse. So I'll read the back for you. It says, let this be your year of clarity, connection, and direction. The listening path is your guide to creative and personal transformation. So it says, in 6 weeks, your attention will be heightened and you will gain healing, insight, and clarity. So she's offering a method of creative and personal transformation that will make us better listeners to our environments, the people around us, and ourselves. So yeah, that's been on my list to facilitate a program. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know and I can set it up. Another one is walking in this world, particularly good if you do enjoy getting out into nature, or even through your streets, suburban streets or urban streets, because what it's helping us to do is to tune into footfall, the sound of the footfall, no matter whether that's walking on leaves or a pavement or a country road, doesn't really matter. Walking in this world is a more practical approach to your creativity and that practice. So on the back, it says, take the next step on the path to unlocking your true creative potential. She says, walking in this world is an essential sequel to Cameron's life-changing method, The Artist's Way, of discovering and recovering the creative self. So it's, I think that's 12 weeks, isn't it? I think it's a 12-weeker. Yeah, it's a 12-weeker. So it does take a little bit of commitment, you know, but it's fun. So let's get started on our morning pages. Morning pages look completely messy, and they are private, and they're not to be shown to anyone. Okay? Do not read them. Do not consider them to be writing. They are dumping. They're the stuff you flush away. Yeah? Okay. You know what I mean. Get yourself a pen, and we're going to do a timer, okay? So typically on a Friday, we do 45 minutes of timed free writing, just moving the hand over and seeing what comes out, paying attention to the boredom and talking about that boredom. Oh God, I can't believe I'm still writing. Oh my God. Whatever comes to you, put it down on the paper. The paper is safe. At the end of our 45 minutes, then we do a 7-minute review, going back over insights, things like that. And then you'll be free by 11. Okay? That's Dublin time, by the way. So jump in where you are. Our 45 minutes of timed writing is starting now. You see, yeah, you can see. Okay, so Friday. So start where you are. our 45 minutes is done. All right, so it's time to review. We take a different pen and we go back over, okay, for 7 minutes. Circle, underline, star, heart, beside the insights, beside the truths, beside the things you would like to do, beside the things that you need to remember for today, okay? 7 minutes starts now. Ah, okay. There is our 7 minutes review over. Let's move this a bit closer and see who's on. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your 7 minutes are up. Hiya, Eva. Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you. So glad that you're here for Morning Pages Live. That was a wonderful session, wasn't it? That was a wonderful session. Not sure if you got to start in at the start there, Eva, but you're welcome at any stage. And pages are a great thing to just jump into at any time, day, night, sitting outside the doctor's office or, parked up in a car park somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be regulated or 45 minutes. What we're doing is forming a connection with ourselves. We're forming a connection into our creativity and asking that creativity to become a part of our life, our everyday boring pedestrian life, and saying, I'm making a little space for you, 5 minutes here and there, 10 minutes, 45 minutes on a Friday, maybe, if my life can support it, That's all we're doing. We're creating a connection that can be open at any time. It's all very well for the purists who want to do 3 pages every single day and have a streak and not break that streak. That's great for them. More power to them. The rest of us are human. The rest of us are enough just being human, and we can't flagellate ourselves. We have to bring the compassion. We have to bring a little balance to the practice of morning pages. So I ask you to embrace that if you can, and that's what this practice is all about, So how was your morning pages this morning? I hope some nice things came out. What came out through my, I as usual, I run the gamut. Whatever comes out during pages is just your stream of consciousness. It's kind of like, oh, I need to text that lady, and then oh, I don't know where I went wrong in my life. It goes from very banal and very practical to very, very deep or emotional, vague pages. They just to and fro like that, And as long as we're there keeping our hands moving, this stuff comes out. A lot of stuff came out today about paying attention. And I think that was just when we were talking about the listening path and how the listening path is basically a program to develop our listening skills and to start paying attention. And as I wrote down, paying attention, awareness, awareness, awareness. Sometimes I repeat a lot of words, and it says noting what you notice, jotting down the scream of the jet engines overhead. This is close to Dublin Airport, so there's an awful lot of jet engines sometimes, and you just become immune to it. You don't pay attention to it anymore. But stopping and connecting to that noise is helpful, and it's just noting it. It's not making a judgment on it. It's just noting it, So then the movement of sunlight as wind buffets clouds into shifting this way. No, that way. Sudden change of mind. Paying attention to all of those things. It's a lovely mindful thing to do for yourself, you know. Secretess Eva, yes, compassion, 5 minutes. Good reminders. I was so stressed. Yeah. I often feel really, really reluctant to do even 5 minutes of getting words on pages, but even 5 minutes of writing allows those difficult emotions to be seen by me, to be acknowledged by me. And once I can see and acknowledge them, then we tend to understand them or just accept them and say, ah, there you are. There you are, fury. There you are, disappointment. There you are, disgust. The real world doesn't really like those things or doesn't allow us to get them out, you know. And once they're out, they're gone. You know, then we're back to being, you know, our happy little bunnies as before. But ignore disappointment, disgust, and anger, and rage and wrath at your peril. Yeah. So it's just better to get it out on paper, I think, you know. And putting it down on paper with no judgment, you know, with the compassion that we have to cultivate as well. Compassion is not a skill I would have been born with. Had to work on it, still work on it, and I've discovered lately that it is the key to removing the power of the judgment. Applying compassion, applying self-compassion is the key to removing any kind of critic, any kind of "You're not doing enough. You aren't enough. You're bad," you know, feelings of unworthiness and feelings of poor self-esteem, you know. Anyway, it's 7 past the hour. I'm gonna let you guys go 'cause, it was a bit of a slow one this morning. Um, but I hope that this is a useful, um, practice. It's certainly useful for me. I swear by the morning pages. I really do. I swear by them. And I am um, thinking about what to do next. Definitely new paths and new options on my artist's way, you know. So I will wish you the very best of luck this weekend and do keep that connection going with yourself as and when you need to open up your pages. Just give it 2, 3 minutes. That's all that we need sometimes to be seen and heard, you know. Eva, so nice to have you on. And until next Friday, we will see you on Friday, the 20th of June. Okay, my friends, take care. Have a great day. Bye.